With the Dow posting its 15th record close of the year, what are some of the key sectors to look at and the key levels of markets? Joining me now here at the Telestrator, Robert Sluymer from Fundstrat Global Advisors and Managing Director of Technical Strategy. Good afternoon to you.
Hey, Will, thanks.
Let's start with the broader S&P and compare it to us, to some of the key moving day averages.
Right, so the market's had a pretty good run. We're up about 6% off the July lows. It's kind of a little bit extended in the short term. People are concerned about a top developing. But the truth is, when we look at where these moving averages, sort of cliche stuff, but that 50-day lines up almost perfectly with the highs that we had back at the beginning of the year. That's 28.72. The 100-day, your next level down about 4% from where we are. That's around 2,800. And this is around 2740 or so. So this takes us into some very big support levels. So even if we get a bit of a pullback, I don't think it's the end of the market. The key thing is the rotation that's developing underneath the market that keeps that uptrend intact. I think there's some more rotation coming.
Okay, so the point here, a little bit overextended, nothing too worrying. Let's move on to the next chart because we're going to look at some sector performance. First up in industrials.
Right, so think about what's happened with the, we just clear these guys away. So if we look at what happened in the industrials, look at that relative performance all the way through the beginning from 2018 into the lows that we had in July and August, and that relative strength starts to hook up. And the price pattern, this is going to be important when we look at the next chart, it's really been quite sloppy, but as we came into July, we started to see breadth expand in some of the cyclicals. Cyclicals have been under a tremendous amount of pressure through 18, now we're starting to see early signs that there's some improvement. I think it's starting to expand here.
Which figures with some of the trade news. Let's have a look at banks as well.
Right, and so the next one here, if we just look at the XLF, or the bank index, and that's going to be really key to get the financials moving, the big banks, and they've been horrendous. You got this relative strength deteriorating. It's a pretty horrible chart, and we're all the way back to some levels we saw in 2008, 2017, so it's not great, but similar to what we saw with the XLI, the industrial ETF, you're back into a lot of support. So if the market's going to keep going, and we think it will, we think there's going to be more rotation. Ugly charts, but if you're short, you got to be very careful. I think you got to rebound on the financials here. It's going to lift the market a bit more.